On the evening of February 1st, 1991, US Air Flight 1493 entered final approach at Los Angeles International Airport. Within a few minutes, however, a chain of events would unfold that would result in the deaths of 35 people on the runway below. One of the busiest airports in the world, LAX has a total of 4 runways. In 1991, all 4 were used for both takeoff and landing. While Flight 1493, a Boeing 737, was on final approach, the air traffic controller on duty, Robin Lee Washer, was encountering a number of distractions. A misplaced flight progress strip, and an aircraft that had inadvertently switched off the tower frequency and could not be contacted. At 6 p.m. local time, a Wings West aircraft landed on the nearby runway 24 right, and was awaiting permission to cross runway 24 left and reach the terminal. The crew had somehow switched radio frequencies, and controller Washer was unable to contact them. It took 4 attempts to re-establish communications, costing valuable time. Washer then contacted SkyWest Airlines Flight 5569, a twin turboprop aircraft, clearing it to taxi into takeoff position on runway 24L. The plane was briefly not visible from the tower in a blind spot known as No Man's Land. It slowly taxied onto runway 24 left, the same runway about to be used for the landing of US Air Flight. Controller Washer had seemingly forgotten about the SkyWest aircraft, as she then cleared the Boeing 737 to land on the same runway. With all this happening, another Wings West aircraft, a Metroliner similar to the SkyWest plane, called the tower to report as ready for takeoff, and were holding on a taxiway short of runway 24 left. Controller Washer was initially confused by this plane, as she had not yet received this aircraft's flight progress strip from a colleague. She mistakenly thought this plane was, in fact, SkyWest Airlines Flight 5669. The US Air Flight touched down on the runway. Just as the nose was being lowered, the first officer noticed SkyWest 5569 on the runway ahead and applied maximum braking, but it was too late. US Air Flight 1493 slammed into SkyWest 5669, crushing it beneath its fuselage. The 737 proceeded to skid down the runway, veered off the left side, and crashed into an abandoned fire station building where it eventually caught fire. The 35 dead included all 12 passengers and crew aboard the SkyWest plane and 23 of the 89 aboard the US Air Flight. The majority of the fatalities on board the US Air Flight occurred to those seated in front of the plane, where the post-crash fire originated. Everyone to the rear of row 17 survived. While only 2 victims were found in their seats, investigators believe that a further 17 had unbuckled their seatbelts but succumbed to smoke inhalation while making their way to the exits. According to James Burnett, who headed the National Transportation Safety Board investigation team, quote, "I can't think of a recent accident where this many people have been up and out of their seats and didn't make it out." Air traffic controller Washer, who cleared both aircraft to use the same runway, accepted blame for causing the crash. She testified that rooftop lights in her line of sight caused glare in the tower, making it difficult to see small planes where the SkyWest plane was situated. Making matters more difficult, the ground radar at LAX was not working on the day of the accident. The NTSB's investigation concluded that the cockpit crew of the US Air Flight could not see the Skyway plane, which blended in with other airport lights. They also cited the intermittent performance of the ground radar, the blind spot outside the tower, the process of passing flight progress strips within the tower, and the fact that aircraft were not required to turn on all their external lights until rolling for takeoff. All these issues were rectified at LAX following this incident. A further recommendation was that the runways should be segregated with only landings or departures taking place on an individual runway.